There's a trap that only catches people who are doing well financially. Not the broke, not the reckless, the stable, the employed, the ones with the steady paycheck, the health benefits, the pension contributions, the account that never hits zero. That trap has a name, and it's been operating inside your head since the day you signed your first employment contract. It's called the comfort trap. And unlike debt or addiction or poor impulse control, it's completely invisible from the inside. Because it doesn't feel like a trap. It feels like responsibility. James is 38. He's worked in federal government for 12 years. His paycheck clears on the first of every month without fail. He has insurance, a 401k match, paid vacation, sick days. When the 2022 tech layoffs hit and 3 of his college friends lost their jobs in the same week, James felt something he wasn't proud of. Relief that he hadn't taken the leap they had. But James has something he doesn't talk about at work. By the 15th of every month, his checking account is nearly empty, not because of debt, not because of emergencies, because of a dozen small decisions that felt completely rational in the moment. The dinner that replaced the hard conversation he didn't want to have, the shoes bought on a Wednesday afternoon when he felt underutilized, the streaming services he barely watches, the delivery order every Sunday when inertia felt too heavy to fight. James isn't irresponsible. James is compensating, and if something in that word caught you, it's because what's governing James's financial life is probably governing yours too. The problem isn't what you earn. It's what a stable salary does to your psychology without you ever noticing. Behavioral economists describe something called the anchoring effect. When a numerical reference is established, it begins to function as an invisible ceiling on what the mind believes is possible. Your fixed salary isn't just income. It's a cognitive anchor. It quietly defines the upper boundary of what you believe you can build, accumulate, or become. Think about what happens in your mind when you consider doing something different with your money, investing more aggressively, starting a project on the side, allocating a meaningful percentage of your income towards something that compounds over time instead of evaporating. There's a voice, so automatic it sounds like wisdom, that calculates risk as a function of what you could lose. And what you could lose has the exact value of your next direct deposit. A stable income doesn't free you, it anchors you. And the anchor sinks quietly. James never made a conscious decision to limit his possibilities. But every financial choice over 12 years was filtered through an assumption he never questioned. That the stability he has is enough. That any movement beyond where he stands represents disproportionate risk. That's not prudence. That's what I call the invisible contract. There's an agreement you signed without reading. No paper, no signature, no date. But it's the most important document in your financial life. It says, in essence, trade the possibility of building something larger for the guarantee of what's already here. And you sign it every time you decide not to act, because the account is positive. Every time you postpone a project because the paycheck is still coming. Every time you use comfort as an argument against change. The invisible contract isn't an external enemy. It's an internal voice that learned over years of reinforcement to sound like common sense. Daniel Kahneman, who won the Nobel Prize for his work on human decision-making, identified something called loss aversion. Psychologically, the pain of losing something is worth more than the pleasure of gaining the same thing. Losing $100 hurts more than gaining $100 feels good. Apply that to the financial life of someone with stable employment. The salary anchor creates a reference point so powerful that any movement toward growth is automatically processed as risk of loss, not opportunity for gain. The mind doesn't see what could be built. It sees what could be lost. And since what it most fears losing is that predictability, the result is inaction, dressed as caution. James isn't weak. James is human, and the mechanism governing his choices governs yours too. But the invisible contract has a clause almost no one reads. It has a price. The price doesn't show up on your bank statement. It shows up in the sum of everything that wasn't attempted, wasn't built, wasn't risked. In the version of you that stayed in draft form because the direct deposit kept arriving. In the net worth that didn't compound because comfort replaced discipline. In the freedom that stayed a distant retirement plan instead of a present construction. James did the math one quiet Sunday afternoon. He calculated how much money had passed through his hands in 12 years of stable employment. The number came out to just over $900,000. He looked at his apartment, his savings account with $22,000 in it, and the vague memory of every purchase that seemed reasonable at the time. And he sat with a question you've probably asked yourself and couldn't answer. Where did it go? The honest answer, compensatory spending. When work doesn't resolve the deeper need for meaning, for progress, for autonomy, money steps in as a substitute, not consciously. The mind doesn't announce it's trying to fill a void with new sneakers. It just creates urgency where none exists, converts desire into necessity, uses financial comfort as authorization to spend what should be building. Compensatory spending isn't moral weakness. It's the natural response of a mind that's trapped in a job that pays well but doesn't fulfill. And the more stable the paycheck, the quieter and more efficient this dynamic becomes, because the guilt never arrives. After all, the account isn't in the red. Before we continue, I need to show you something I built after understanding exactly what we're talking about here. It's called the Free Your Mind Kit. 3 tools that work together. The ebook has 35 pages of real financial psychological diagnosis. It's not a savings tip, it's a map of the invisible patterns that trap men with stable salaries. The Cost of Stability Calculator is an interactive tool. You enter your numbers and it shows you the real cost of not acting, in wealth, in time, in deferred freedom. And the Free Your Mind series is 3 audio tracks of 7 to 12 minutes, made to listen to when you wake up or before you sleep, working on identity, value, and action where knowledge alone can't reach. The 3 complement each other. The ebook creates intellectual awareness, the calculator creates emotional awareness. The audios work on identity. It's not a course, no subscription. Lifetime access, everything for $9. The link is in the description when you're ready. Back to what we were saying. There's a resistance that always shows up here. It sounds reasonable. It says, but my situation is different. I have a family, I have obligations, I can't afford to take risks. That voice isn't entirely wrong. The responsibilities are real. But there's a fundamental confusion embedded in it. The confusion between changing and abandoning. Nobody is asking you to quit tomorrow. Nobody is suggesting you discard the stability you built. What we're discussing is subtler and deeper than that. The relationship you have with what's possible. What you believe you can build while keeping what you have. Who you can become without needing to destroy what exists. The comfort paralysis doesn't dissolve when discomfort increases. It dissolves when purpose appears. When something is being built, inertia loses its main argument, which was always, why move if the essentials are guaranteed? The answer most people never got around to formulating, because the essentials being guaranteed isn't the same thing as the life you wanted to live. James is 38. 12 years of stability. And he has, for the first time since he joined the federal workforce, the feeling that the stability is a starting point, not a destination. He didn't solve the financial problem. He redefined the problem. That's what I want you to do before you close this video, not the solution, the redefinition. If what you heard here made sense, the Free Your Mind Kit goes deeper. The link is in the description. comment one word below. The word that best captures what you feel when you think about what you've been postponing. Subscribe, not for tips, not for techniques, for a different way of thinking about money that starts from the inside out. The cage only holds you if you don't know it's there.